Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest's 5 Steps to Solo Travel Guide for people like you who need extra support traveling one at a time. I appreciate your feedback and travel questions as the Travelbest team creates a workbook and a third book, Part C, about 90 days around the world. In this episode, the FAQ is, a listener asks, how do I gain confidence when I travel? I felt unconfident when I started my trip, she said. She sought the confidence needed to take a Step 4 trip to Europe. Today's destination is Colonial, Williamsburg, Virginia. And today's misstep, a mistake with my car rental from Turo. Details to follow. Travel advice, travel clockwise in a museum. And the FAQ, how do I get confidence when I travel? I felt unconfident when I started my trip. So here's the answer to that question. It's normal to feel unprepared at first, but with your experience, you build up the confidence to take more and more trips to more fun and challenging places. The reason that I created this podcast series in 2018 with nearly 300 episodes so far is for you to build your confidence. These short podcasts are to excite you about the entire book series available for e-readers on my website for the price of 2 cups of coffee. You can also purchase the audiobook. That's the whole book, 5 Steps to Solo Travel, Book A. It's 4 hours long of what it takes to move your needle to solo travel step by step. It's an Audible. If this is resonating with you, don't wait any longer. Get on track with the first step. Today's destination is a good one to start. So if you're interested in traveling and you do as you listen here, why not purchase a helpful step-by-step guide that answers most of your questions in one place? I make it really simple for you. And now for the destination of Williamsburg, Virginia. For so many years, I've heard about Colonial Williamsburg and why I needed to visit there. I finally made it, so here's what I found out. It's a step 1 or 2 trip, and it's easy to navigate. So if you come from California like I did, it's a big trip. But if you come from the East Coast, it's more like a step 1 level trip. So rest easy, no big deal. I arrived in Norfolk, Virginia in the evening, and there were some travel advisories right away. The radio was warning of flash floods, so I took heed and was very careful on the drive to Williamsburg. Did you know that history lives here? What struck me about this area was the number of silver hairs visiting. Nearly everyone was a senior citizen. I was there for 5 days and saw a lot of senior citizens. You may be here when there are more school groups, though. So what advice do I have? Exploring the region will likely take several days, and it's 2.5 hours from Washington, D.C., so not really a close trip. Williamsburg, specifically Colonial Williamsburg, is centrally located right in between Norfolk and Richmond. It's about an hour by car from each place. So the Visitors Center will help you decide what exhibits to see. So go there first. When I got there the first night, I strolled down the main street, and that helped me get my bearings. The main street is easy to find because it's King of Gloucester Street. Now, Merchant Square is at one end of the square, and towards the College of William and Mary is the other. See the show notes for maps and details on where to go. The shuttle bus takes visitors around the area for free. It comes every 15 or 20 minutes, and there's plenty of parking, and the historic area is not very large, so you could learn the grid in a few blocks of walking. Do you like art museums? You like these art museums for folk or British traditional art. It's really 2 different museums. the Abbey Aldrich Rockefeller Folk Art Museum, and the DeWitt Wallace Decorative Arts Museum. So my group, we ate a bite in the cafe inside the museum, which was pretty good. So what are some excellent places to eat? There's Pierce's Pit Barbecue with some great flavors, and Virginia is known as the oyster capital of the East Coast. So try them fried, steamed, or in half shells. There's no shortage of places to eat. You can check in ahead of time to see the accommodations for differently abled people or travelers with pets. Overall, I found great people willing to help in every way, especially seniors. It's a visit waiting for you, even if you have some restrictions. And now, today's misstep. Mistake with a rental owner through Turo. Many of you have heard of Turo, which is like Airbnb, but for cars. And I've been using them for about 4 years with some good success. This last trip to Virginia was a bit of a problem. My mistake was trusting the car owner for the key to the car. A lockbox was installed on the vehicle, but I did not know how to open it. So I was stuck in the rain with flash flood warnings trying to reach him. That was my error. He apologized that his phone ran out of power and he could not respond to any of my texts. So next time, get full instructions on any kind of lockbox in advance and any code to unlock it. Insist on it. And now for today's travel advice. Travel clockwise in a museum. When you visit a museum, decide what direction do you want to go. I suggest you go left and then clockwise from there. Now, some museums are hard to navigate, so remember where you started and go left. Having a plan in advance is helpful. Do you have a better plan? Let me know. I want to bring meaning to your future travels, so sign up for the Dr. Travelbest newsletter, and we can connect on my websites, Facebook page, group, Instagram, or TikTok. Find the 5 Steps to Solo Travel series on Amazon. The show notes have more details, so please support this podcast with a review. We need your help to help others.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travelbest, that is.